Well, Mike, thanks for joining. You've been a client a long time, so I'd love to hear your story, man. How did you hear about MyOutDesk? How have we done in serving you and serving your clients? I love these kind of conversations.
Actually, it was referred to me through another Keller Williams agent, and
Nice.
so I started checking it out, and I just felt like the system that you guys had, and also the simplicity, like it was all
Mhm.
laid out for you. Because
Yeah.
I had virtual assistants before, but it was like more like individual, and it wasn't really outlined like what they were supposed to do, and they didn't really have like I think experience or trained or skilled agents like you guys have,
Yeah.
and so that was a big factor. The the pricing is not too bad too.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more than those ones, but those are like mom and pop. Like they're not as reliable. And so I know they continuously get training through you guys, and then also feedback updates, and they're really like quick to respond.
Yeah.
So which is really good as well.
I love it. I love it. And
So
you,
there's a lot of stuff, a lot of huge benefit. Yeah.
well, you've been a client since 2017. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. 16 or 17, something like that. Yeah. 17, I think.
That's a good deal. And how have you grown since hiring MyOutDesk and having virtual assistants?
Um, a lot of there was a lot of pushback in the beginning, whereas a lot of people wanted to have assistants in the office,
Yeah.
and I do. I have a couple of assistants in the office, but there's of course like there's employment tax. There's a lot of taxes associated
Right.
with employment, and so it's after and of course you have to get used to the virtual assistant, and they have to get used to us.
Yep.
So in the beginning we're figuring things out, but you can hire one that's more experienced or less experienced. So I like that we have options, and they're so fast. They're always so fast. So it's really helped me like leverage my business a lot. Uh, you know, like for example, the TC, they've been, they're so great, and they're also quick to respond. And I mean, they do, they're not here in person, but they can communicate, they can call, and so it's actually makes life pretty simple, pretty easy. It's just it's all about leveraging.
Yeah.
There's no way you can do everything yourself. So leveraging the OSA, the personal assistant, and the TC, that's who we had on our team before,
Nice.
and that really just kind of took a lot off. When I'm on the road and I need to research a property, you should never be texting and driving, or looking at properties. So
Right.
it was easy for me to just, call Anne or call Mike, who were the virtual assistants, and they would help me, do the research for me and send it to my phone, so I would have it available. Or maybe I missed something while I'm on the way to the listing appointment, or meet a buyer, then they can send it to me PDF or whatever.
Hmm.
And they can use any platform that we wanted, WeChat, however we wanted. And so it just made life a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they really helped us out a lot. Unless you have a driver, it's very difficult. And even if you do, you're probably on the phone a lot. So I like to get on the phone, just like a lot of people, while they're driving in traffic.
Yeah.
So it's not like I can just start doing research, on my phone. I
Yeah.
have to, yeah.
That's
Uh,
great, man.
that's it.
And what have you learned over the years? Because 4 years of working with us, you probably learned a lot about working with virtual assistants and MyOutDesk. What advice would you give somebody who's new to mod and would like to see your level of success?
I think same thing with any, even if you hire one that's in that's in person,
Hmm.
you have to take the time to train them, and you have to take the time to interview them. And it's okay to interview a few more if you need to, if it doesn't seem like the right fit.
Yeah.
So it's okay to just pick the right one, but also take the time to get to know each other's personalities, And if you like certain things operate a certain way, you should definitely communicate that, to the virtual assistant so they can try to adapt to, or you can both try to adapt to each other.
Yep.
A lot of times people fail because they're not willing to take the time, or they just feel like, oh, you should do everything, like just dump everything, and that's really not how it is, and I like that they separate the roles and they ask you up front, what you need it for. If it's straight ISA, they don't do anything else but ISA. So that's I think that will help a lot. Helps keep you in line, and yeah.
That's cool, man. What how did you know that you needed to train and like adapt to each other, and like how is that, like did you know that, or is it just experience, or have you seen other business, and like because that it is the biggest challenge that we have, is having our clients really own kind of the first 90 days to get somebody up to speed. How did you know that that was going to be required on your side, and you knew that there was going to be a ramp up time frame?
Just from failing, many times before
Yeah.
with different assistants.
Yep.
And so I've learned throughout my years. I've always had an assistant since I started real estate. So from the first year, whether it's the office assistant, I just use it like my personal assistant.
Yeah.
And so from then, I knew like the assistant was very helpful, very powerful. That was part of something that I always needed to make sure that I had or integrated into my business, and now the team business as well too.
Yeah. What has been some of your success? Like, why have you been successful when a lot of your peers would love to have your level of success? Like, what is it that you could share with the audience that would help them?
There's probably a lot of things, and I think one thing is being people that are people need to trust you and you have to have a good reputation. I think that really helps a lot. So trust, so they always come back to you, and of course all the basic stuff, follow up, nurture, those things you have to do. But most importantly is providing like really good service, and just having people being able to trust you, and coming from a humble approach, like not like I'm the best agent, like I think that's, people know you're a good agent, when they talk to you, you don't need to remind them you're the best agent or so I think that's helped a lot, and
Cool,
just
man.
grinding it out day in day out, same activities.
Just keeping busy.
Mm-hmm.
How is leverage like helped you? You've said you've always had an assistant. Like how has that been a part of your success?
If you want to, and I see this all the time with agents in our office and in the area, but they want to scale their business, and they're always like, oh, I would love to like do that, but there's no plan on how they're gonna get there. There's no goal, and
Yep.
And they're not willing to take a leap, like leap of faith to try even part time,
Right.
and so they end up trying to do everything. And there you can see, if you look at the history, their business is cyclical. They're up and down, up and down.
Right.
And my business has been consistently, growing. Sometimes some years it grows slower, some years it grows faster, but it's been consistently just growing every single year. So, and I think that again, that really helps a lot, having a clear idea of because most of our time is spent prospecting. If you're not prospecting, then you're not earning potential business. So so I'd rather be doing that all day long instead of paperwork or design, or people get so caught up about their website or their business card, and
Right.
just really simple stuff that really they shouldn't spend too much time on.
You believe in this blended model, it sounds like, where your licensed people that are in-house, all they're doing is prospecting, being on the phones and attracting new clients, and then the virtual assistants do everything else. Is that kind of a fair summary?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, virtual and physical assistants. We still need physical assistants because staging and different stuff. So we do have our own furniture. My listing coordinator does like help me do all of that. Unfortunately, virtual assistant can't be here for that, but they can do everything else.
Right. What, okay. So besides training, what other advice would you give to somebody who's thinking about hiring a virtual assistant?
I think they have to. I know MyOutDesk used to have part-time. They
Yes.
don't have part-time anymore.
No.
But what I can tell them is that it's a very it's a good use of your money. And if you follow the millionaire real estate agent, Gary Keller's model, you should get an assistant first.
Yes.
So, but it depends how much business you're doing. So make sure you iron out the details, probably even before you interview, the assistant. Over the years, I've kind of failed, and I know like the assistants that I want now. And
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
the person that I want. But I didn't. I didn't at first, and we had to fire, rehire, and so that takes a lot of time and energy.
Well, and hopefully if you use MyOutDesk, we'll shorten that learning curve, but it's still
Yeah.
going to be there, right? I mean, what you need as an assistant, you're still going to have kind of a learning curve, no matter who you work with.
Yeah, and I like that you can pay through your credit card as
Yeah.
well too. So that's always like just in case if you're some months you're strapped for cash, that's always that comes in really handy.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Well, what else would you share, Mike? I mean, I know you guys are rated in the top 250 teams across the nation. You're with Keller Williams. You've been a client since 2000, I think 16 or 17.
Yeah.
What else would you want to share with the audience?
There's so much to share, and I am like super open. Just like the Keller Williams culture. Everybody is so open minded and so like sharing.
Yeah.
So I have no issues. If you reach out to me, I would message you back, or I would text you back, or call you back.
Nice.
If a quick question, I have no problems. Helping out. There's enough business to go around, so you don't have to fight for the same business all the time. But I think the biggest advice is just kind of having a plan and a strategy, and also leverage is super powerful. At one point I had 9 or 10 assistants on payroll, but so I've had a lot of assistants before, so but I'm still learning as I go. But one thing for sure, from like I told you, from the first year of my business, the assistant was always like I used. They were a big help in, I guess, the success of my business.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, let's wrap up. Mike, is there anything that MyOutDesk could do for you? Is there anything you can think of that you might need support around, or anything that we can do to serve you as a client?
And honestly, you guys have been really great, and so I really appreciate all the timeliness, the quickness, the just overall, I had a very good like customer experience through MyOutDesk, and I would definitely recommend it. And they're fair, so they pay I think a fair wage to the people there, and also with increases every year. Bonuses, you don't have to, but if they do a good job, you can, and a little bit goes a long way. So I feel like in all fronts, you're really not only helping families over there, but also this is a huge like, yeah, it's just been phenomenal for me.
That's awesome, man.
So I would that's always the first place I would look to, MyOutDesk before anything. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, Mike, you're awesome, man. I really appreciate that. We're 100% here for you. If you ever need anything or have a special request, please reach out. If you want, man, I'd love to send you a copy of the book. Can I do that for you?
Yeah, I would love to.
All right. Good.
That's awesome. I love books. Yeah, I love books.
Yeah, I'd love to see your feedback. Having you as a client, and you've had so many assistants, I'd love you to check it out and then let me know, hey, Daniel, this is great, but I would have changed this or added that, whatever it is. But yeah, man, I just appreciate your time today.
Okay. Thanks, Daniel. I appreciate your time.
Okay, brother.
Thank you.
Talk soon. Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Bye.